Guys, let's start with The Great Gatsby. Everyone's talking about Baz Luhrmann's remake. It stars Leo DiCaprio, Carey Mulligan, and Isla Fisher. It's already got a lot of hype, but it's also got a lot of hate. Tim, let's start with you. Tell us about the hype The Great Gatsby is getting.
It's glitz, it's glamour, it's Baz Luhrmann, so it's the Moulin Rouge-ing of The Great Gatsby. You know, a lot of the criticism is coming from the fact that it's going to be all flash and no substance. A lot of people talking about that. A lot of people talking about the contemporary soundtrack in a period movie. They're saying that you know, it may not be the right fit, but it's Baz Luhrmann. So I was excited to see it. I had a mixed reaction to it, as I know Russ did as well. But the buzz is that this is definitely going to be the #1 movie this weekend. A lot of people are going to go see it.
Wait, did you just say it's going to be the #1 movie this weekend? Yes,
it is. Are you surprised?
You really think it's going to beat Iron Man Week 2?
Yes.
You are high, Mr. Moviefone editor.
That's a whole nother segment. I happen to like Baz Luhrmann. I kind of liked Australia. I mean, I'm going to see all Baz Luhrmann's movies. I think they're fun to see. They just said, "Oh my God," in my ear that I actually liked Australia. Might have fallen asleep. I don't know. I thought I liked it. Let's take a look at this scene, guys, from The Great Gatsby.
I want to ask Mr. Gatsby one more question.
Oh, please go on, Mr. Buchanan. Go on.
What kind of a row are you trying to cause in my house anyhow?
He isn't causing a row. You're causing a row. Please have a little self-control.
Self-control? Oh, I suppose the latest thing is to sit back and let Mr. Nobody from nowhere make love to your wife. Well, if that's the idea, you can count me out. See, nowadays, people begin by sneering at family life and family institutions.
Your wife doesn't love you. She never loved you. You see, she loves me.
You must be crazy.
No, old sport. No, you see, she never loved you.
Your wife doesn't love you.
If your wife doesn't love you, that's no good.
So a couple comments that have just come in. Surreal68 says, Baz Luhrmann is not a great storyteller. He's all fast-paced glitz with no substance. Here's another one that's come in. Oops, another one that's come in here from Big WL says The Great Gatsby, which is not the nicest thing to say. But Russ, before we watch your 6-second review, I want to ask what your impression was before you saw the film. You know, I mean, was it something that you were looking forward to?
Nope. Oh, you need more than that? Okay. No, you know what? I'm not a huge Baz Luhrmann fan because, like they're saying, generally not a lot of substance to his movies. He takes camera angles and effects and sort of smothers a story, typically. And this is a pretty classic story from a very famous book by a great author, and so, you know, I wasn't looking forward to it, but when I showed up and it was like all Gatsby, then I started getting into it. But let's watch that 6-second review.
Yeah, let's before we go to the community, because I want to talk to you guys, get your take in a minute. Let's take a look at what Russ thought about the film after seeing it. Here's his 6-second review, courtesy of Moviefone.
Mr. Moviefone 6-second review starts now.
What you'd imagine a unicorn barfing up a rainbow might look like. It may be Gatsby, but it ain't great. I'm out. Is a unicorn barfing up a rainbow too harsh?
I think that it was poignant, I think is the word.
But think about the imagery. Let's stop down and think about a unicorn, Charlie the unicorn, barfing up a rainbow, and that's what you get with this Baz Luhrmann movie. That was my impression of it. Even the little scene we watched here, the dramatic pauses, you and I were like having a snack between them. It's like, you know, come on, let's move the story along.
It was a pregnant pause with twins or triplets.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I think that before everybody sees this movie, I think they should go in with a notepad and count how many times they say old sport.
Let me get Kelly in. Kelly, what's your take? Are you excited about it? You haven't seen it, obviously, but what do you think?
I haven't seen it yet. I think that you have to adjust your expectations when you go in to see this movie. Like, you have to go in and understand you might not be seeing the best adaptation of the book, but you're going to go with your Baz Luhrmann fan. It looks like it's very glitzy and very much to see when you go in to see it. So, if you go in expecting not a lot, it'll probably be an okay movie.
She's got a point. If you go in expecting Lincoln, you're not going to get that. You're going to get Baz Luhrmann. But you know, the question is, and a lot of people that were at the screening that I was with, a lot of the ladies in particular, sort of loved it because they love Leonardo DiCaprio, and I will say that he is great. He's the best part of the movie by far. But you know, even Moulin Rouge, Baz Luhrmann's sort of last big glitzy adventure, I think that made $55 million. So that wasn't a huge hit. That's why I'm questioning Moviefone editor Tim and his box office predictions. I think maybe they spent $55 million bucks on the glitter for this movie alone.
You don't have to be a woman to love Leo. Leo.
What are you saying?
I'm just saying. Just saying.
I'm with you.
Russ, let's talk about the CGI. The images in the book are obviously critical to the magic of the plot. So, you know, you talked about the glitter. Is it as stunning as you would have hoped it to be?
I think it's certainly stunning, visually stunning, and you're going to pay for IMAX 3D, so it's going to be $15, $16 worth of visually stunning. And, you know, like she was saying, before you go into the movie, you have to manage your expectations. I think maybe a better idea is spending 15, 20 minutes in the parking lot before you go in.
Tailgating. Let's just say tailgating.
Not advocating.
Tailgating.
Just saying.
HuffPost Live does not advocate tailgating, as it were. Matt, what about you, man? You think of the CGI 3D viewing, it'll take away from the sort of the charm of the story? Might it, you know, be better off, excuse me, without smoke and mirrors?
No, I actually think that in the case of Gatsby, that's going to be a help because I think part of where, you know, people have tried to make this movie numerous times before and really failed. And I think that's because really this might sound blasphemous, but the plot of Gatsby, I don't think is anything that exciting. What made it such a great book was in sort of like the prose and the storytelling and like in the characters of it. And that's where I think maybe Baz Luhrmann might do a good job with it because sort of the prose of a movie maker is sort of like the cinematography. You know what I mean? That's kind of their means of expression that gets away from the plot itself. And I kind of think that maybe that's where he's the right guy for this. And obviously Leonardo DiCaprio is awesome. And kind of like the visual effects of it, I think might actually help to kind of revive it and make it much better than previous versions.
So it sounds like you are looking forward to seeing it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't know if I'm going to see it this weekend, but I'll certainly see it in the next couple of weeks.
Are you going to spend 20 minutes in the parking lot before you go in? Not advocating, just saying.
As I said, as I said yesterday, no comment.
You know what? But I think this material is actually really fertile. He's right. No one's really done a good job with the movie up until now. But you know, it's about the American dream gone sour. It's about, you know, I think the story is really fertile. It's funny that nobody's really been able to do it right. I sort of think Baz Luhrmann is the wrong choice unless you're just looking for Leonardo DiCaprio and big spectacle, because that's what you get with Gatsby.
Some of the criticism, and let me go to you, Tim, surrounding The Great Gatsby is not about Baz Luhrmann's directing or Leo's acting or Carey Mulligan's costumes, but it instead asked this question that this article that I have up on my computer screen asks, is Gatsby unfilmable? You know, the AP is asking, is this novella-length novel just as legendary and evasive as F. Scott Fitzgerald's main character himself? You know, weigh in here, Tim.
Yeah, I think in that exact article, I think they say something to the effect of, you know, the joy or the pleasure of reading The Great Gatsby. It's not in the story; it's in the telling of the story and the art with which F. Scott Fitzgerald tells the story. And I think that's actually why Baz Luhrmann is kind of the perfect director to go to, because he is about flash and imagination. And when you have the source material of something like The Great Gatsby, where it's a little scattered and it's not a straightforward narrative, bringing in a visionary director isn't such a bad thing. Did Luhrmann execute it really well? I don't know. I'm on the fence about that, but I'll leave the box office to tell us that. But you know, I think that it practically is unfilmable. Just in having read the book myself, I mean, there's a reason it hasn't had a successful adaptation in decades.
Right. There have been, I think, what, 3 movie versions? It was a Broadway stage play in the 1920s. Yeah, exactly.
That failed.
Yeah, exactly.